Hey guys, Moms Against Medical Bullying. So about a week ago, I got a strike on the channel because of a video about the truth about what viruses are. And so yeah, like I just couldn't upload. You know how it goes. But anyways, they're still, I guess, looking at my channel because I just received this email a couple days ago after they had already banned me for a week or whatever, and they got another one more the PCR clarification. So guys, it's never been clearer ever that we are being trying to be ruled by a medical cult, by a health cult. So I think that YouTube even changed their wording because I don't remember them last time saying it violates our medical misinformation policy. So that they must have just added that recently. They have a medical misinformation policy, guys. That means that they're saying there's no more medical freedom. That whatever their medical views that they go along with are correct and everything else is misinformation and wrong. So that's just really crazy to consider and think about. But I know everybody's saying, oh, move off YouTube, which is true. But I feel as though no matter what platform people move to, like YouTube used to be more free, right? And now it's not. And that's how I feel like every platform starts off. It starts off looking free and then once the medical monopoly and the beast kind of gets a hold of it, because the thing is, wherever people flock to, okay, we can all flock to a, what looks to be like a free platform where we can post whatever we want. But whenever everyone goes there, a majority of people go there, they will control it and they'll find a way to control it and control the information there. So, I mean, I think true freedom exists in real life relationships. That's the real platform to me. But yeah. So yeah, wherever we are on the internet, they'll always come and try to put their hand of control in there. And so this is that ridiculous that there's a medical misinformation policy, of course, that came along with the whole COVID thing. So another thing I wanted to mention is that I find it quite interesting how they are they're doing a technique, and the technique is called psychological preparation, and they're prepping people to gaslight them. They're prepping them about the coronavirus vaccine, and what they're doing is they're telling people, yeah, you are going to get hurt, you are going to feel unwell for a couple days, but it's okay. It's like somebody doing something bad to you and saying, yeah, it's going to hurt, but guess what? It'll be good for you. You know what I mean? Now, I don't know about you, but whenever I have a reaction to something that is a negative reaction, I tend to not do that thing again. So basically they're saying we're going to inject this into your body and you're going to feel bad for a while, but it's okay. Get over it. And I had on my channel another article where the doctor said that, basically you're just going to have to suck it up. So this one says what it feels like to get an mRNA vaccine. So this is psychological preparation. So it says, as United States inches closer to authorizing, I hate their words, inches closer. Blech. Vomit warning, guys. Many people now let themselves start wondering what it will feel like to get it. Not me. I'm not wondering. I don't care about it. It is going to be is it going to be like the flu vaccine? Will it be more painful? Like, why would it be more painful? It's still an injection into the muscle, right? And what about side effects? The two front runners for getting an emergency use authorization from the U.S. FDA, which are Pfizer and Moderna, use new mRNA technology. Messenger RNA. Okay, so so then they're messing with what is going to be told to your DNA, right? Because the messenger RNA is what helps to make your DNA. I might be wrong. I don't know. So anyways, I don't want anything injected into me that's going to send whatever messages they want into my body. No U.S. licensed vaccine has ever used it. Okay, great. That's wonderful. Although researchers have been studying it for decades. See, they've been studying it for decades. They've been wanting to do this, and this is the time that they want to unleash it against infections like flu, rabies, Zika, and even some types of cancer. Wonderful. Your vaccines cause cancer. So, anyways, the way these mRNA vaccines work is that they give our body instructions. Again, I don't want something injected into me that's trying to give my body instructions. My body doesn't need their injected instructions. That's just silly. In the form of messenger RNA for making a little piece of this particular virus. I think it's interesting how they say for making a little piece of this virus, because that's all they have is a little piece of something. So we're going to make a little piece of the virus, specifically the spike protein. When our body gets these instructions, it starts producing the spike protein. Okay. That in turn triggers our immune system, which recognizes the spike protein as foreign. Well, right? To make antibodies against it. It's like, okay. So the thing is, their foundation is crooked. Their thoughts about the antibodies and what a virus is. Okay, so the people are going to imagine, okay, yes, my body is like an army, and these things are going to be in my body just in case I come in contact with this thing in the air. So when we get infected with the real virus, our body is already prepared to fight it. So yeah, that's the theory that they always use with vaccines. But the problem is, if what they're saying is what they call antibodies and what they think around that is wrong, and what they think about around a virus is wrong, then everything is wrong. So we're just playing with our imaginations here. So let's see here. These require 2 doses. See, to prime and boost. Prime and boost. Like, what does that even mean? Why do I need them to prime and boost? Okay. So, but because this technology is so new for a vaccine, it has raised many questions and some concerns. One participant in Moderna trial said getting the vaccine was definitely not a walk in the park, but he would certainly do it over again. All right, so this guy signs up to get the vaccine, and then, no, girl. Sorry, my dog is menstruating a bit. Hold on. Okay, so this guy says he felt helpless. He wanted to help somebody. Whatever. So he signed up to get this trial vaccine. So he got a call, he says, in September, and then by mid-October he was enrolled. Says he was nervous, which he should be. He was given a 22-page consent form to sign. But he felt like he was doing a public service. So, it says, I think just because coronavirus has been such a significant disruption to our lives that I decided it's what I had to do. It felt like the civic duty. You know, I think our civic duty is to know our Constitution and to not let tyrants take over in our country. I think that's a good civic duty. And let people make their own health decisions. Because I think mass-scale vaccination is really the only realistic way out of the pandemic. And we're in a pandemic because they say we're in a pandemic, not because we're really in a pandemic. So, he says the actual injection felt at first just like a flu shot. Once he left the hospital, the stiffness got worse. It was definitely manageable, but you don't feel like moving your arm too far above your shoulder. So when that, people get compensated for that when their shoulder gets injured after vaccination. So let's see what else he says. It really doesn't affect anything else. You feel fine after the first dose, but the second dose was different. So maybe there's something more or different in the second dose than the first. He says, I actually had some pretty significant symptoms. So what was his symptoms? Basically like a flu. He had a fever, fatigue, and chills. He was out for that day and evening, but he felt ready to go by the next morning. He said he called the study doctors to let them know about his symptoms. Okay. Feeling under the weather does not mean you got COVID from the vaccine. Of course not. Why would it mean that, right? What is COVID anyway? So they're saying that having this reaction shows that your body is responding the way it should and should not deter anyone from getting vaccinated or go back for a second dose. So see, they're psychologically preparing us. Like, it's okay if you feel bad. Just come back for more poison, right? That means your immune response is working. Well, hopefully, if you get poison injected into you, that you should feel good about your body trying to remove it and deal with it. So yeah, it doesn't show anything good about the vaccine, though. I mean, come on. So, of course, Paul Offit supports this. Let's see. I think what is interesting what this guy said at the end, he said that this was a double-blind study, that neither him nor the givers of the injection knew if he was getting the vaccine or not. But what I find interesting is at the end, he says, it's a double-blind randomized study. But then he also goes on to say, I hope once the vaccine comes out, people feel confident taking it. I mean, I'm right here. I took the vaccine. It was all right. I think we can get through this. Like, if you don't know if you got the vaccine or not, how are you going to tell people that it's okay for them to get the vaccine? Like, that just doesn't even make any sense. So this is just another example of psychological preparation, how they're preparing people to become hurt and by the vaccine.